Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name's FM18 and you're watching the Dafuge Challenge, episode 78, with Enfield Town FC. Well, the offseason wasn't as brutal as I thought it would be, but it was close. We'll start out with the transfers. These were the players who were outright released. The recognizable names on there are going to be Connor Slynn, Jake Gallagher, Graham McDonald, and Lucas Green-Birch, who was very, very upset he wasn't getting a lot of first-team playing time, and when I told him he wasn't going to be getting a lot of first-team playing time in the championship, he pitched a fit, and I said, hey, that's fine, go, and he went. On the free transfers, on the outs, Graham Kelly left. He just wasn't going to get a lot of playing time here. He was my third choice left fullback, and frankly, he just wasn't really worth the money I was paying him. He was also making some noise about not getting enough first-team starts. Brad Willems, I was kind of on the fence about Brad. I ended up letting him go because he just never realized his potential. Some of that could be my fault. I brought him in 2020, 2021 on a free and then realized he was never really going to crack the first team here. But if I could get him out on loan and get him first team playing time other places, he might improve. So a season at Chesham, 3 seasons at Tamworth, a season at Barrow, a season last year at Eastbourne Borough, and he just never really improved. He had a couple of good seasons, his first season at Tamworth and the season at Barrow especially, but I'm pretty solid in the midfield, I think. And keeping him on as a 5th or 6th backup just wasn't an option. I let him go, and he went to Macclesfield, and he's coming off the bench for them. On the ends, first, Michael Proctor. 18-year-old left back, brought him in to stick him on the youth team. 1.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. That's one of the big reasons I brought him in, was that potential ability. Former Everton youth player, I brought him in, immediately turned around, loaded him out to Aldershot Town, where he has been underwhelming at best for the moment, but it's only a couple games into the season. He should get better. Next up, Miles Brown. 24-year-old, 2.5-star current, 3.5-star potential center back. I brought him in purely for depth. Pretty good physicals, pretty good mentals where they count. His technicals are okay. I like his marking. I like his tackling. His heading of a 9 is kind of low, but he's a central defender and defensive center back that I brought in purely as depth. And he's been on a rotation with my other center backs. He's doing an okay job for us. He's not a long-term solution by any stretch of the imagination. Comes to us from Barry out of the Leicester youth system. Never really had a good season, but he's one of the few players we could get in on a free. And his salary's not too bad either, only £1,100 a week. Next up, Mackenzie Powell, 21 years old, 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, possibly 4.5 stars, but he's 24 years old. Brought him in as striker depth because he plays target man really, really well. When Matthew Cook goes out injured, and Cook will go out injured, Powell is my first choice replacement for him. His physicals are okay. His mentals, they're decent. The concentration of 5 and the positioning of 4. No, they stand out, but everything else is fairly average. His technicals are average as well, but unless Cook goes out for a long, long time, he'll do a job for us. He can also play midfielder. Not all that well, but he can play midfielder, so he adds a little depth there as well. Next up, Ben Wilson. 34 years old, 2.5-star current ability, 2.5-star potential ability. With Graham McDonald leaving, I needed a backup keeper who was happy being a backup keeper. Wilson fit the bill. 1,100 pounds a week is a bit high, but Ward's doing a really nice job for us, and I'm okay starting Wilson a couple of times if I need to. Okay physicals, okay mentals, okay goalkeeping skills, actually better than average goalkeeping skills in most areas. You know, not a long-term solution as a first-team keeper, but pretty good as a backup, and I'm okay having him on the team as a backup. Next in is Ryan Edwards. 32 years old, 3-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, part-time starter, full-time tutor. Really good physicals, good mentals. I really like the 16 determination and the 16 aggression. The 15 bravery is also nice. The only thing you can really take issue with is the 5 flair, but he's a center back. Flair really doesn't matter for them. His technicals, they're very good where they count. 15 heading, 12 marking, 12 tackling are all very, very nice. The 8 technique and the 8 first touch, I could quibble with that, but I needed backup behind McNally and Lee, and he was one of the best available, even if he is a little bit older. And the fact that he's also a very good tutor, other than this whole argues with official thing, is icing on the cake for me. Next in, a familiar name to followers of the series, Oliver Skipp. One-time Enfield Town player, left because he just was not working on the team. Had potential, for whatever reason, wasn't filling it here. Went to Crawley Town for 2 years. I actually got money from Crawley Town for him. Played there 2 seasons, was underwhelming his first season, was okay his second season, had 2 goals and 6 assists, but his average rating was down from his previous season. Crawley Town released him. He was available. 3.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, 25 years old. Good depth on the midline, which is why I brought him in. He's an excellent deep line playmaker, can also play an okay Carolero and ball-winning midfielder. His physicals are good, his mentals are good, with the exception of flair, but I'm okay with the 2 flair. His technicals are really good where they matter. 15 first touch, 12 marking, 11 passing, 12 technique. The tackling at 9's a little bit low, but he still likes to come deep to get the ball, knocks it past the opponent, likes to switch ball to the other flank. He's still not a fan of big matches, but good value, and frankly, he was willing to come back. Last in on the freeze, Stephen Humphreys. I brought him in to be Barry Cousins' backup first and foremost. 3-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, 28 years old. Okay physicals, okay mentals. You know, the 5 positioning and the 5 flair are a bit, well, they stand out. Good technicals where they count, okay first touch, nice finishing, decent heading, decent passing, decent technique. He can also fill in for Cook if need be, but I brought him in primarily because after Cousins, he's the best defensive forward we have. One of the things that happened near the end of last season, beginning of this season, is we picked up Woking as an affiliate. I asked the board to find me an affiliate, and this was the best one they came back with. Woking's only semi-professional, but they're in the Vanarama. Basic youth facilities, adequate training facilities, which is what I was looking for, and I can sense some of my fringe players is the wrong word, but I guess in football terms, it would be players who are good enough to play Vanarama football, but aren't good enough to play championship football. And I wanted a club I could send my players to get them first team playing time. And I wanted to have a little bit of control. And Woking is the club that I chose. And it seems to be working out because so far they're first in the Vanarama. Anyhow, Shane Keeley, the right back, went to Woking. Romani Medford-Smith, my left back, went to Cambridge United. I tried selling him, but there were no takers, but he was willing to go out on loan. Joseph Laws, who is my young keeper who came through my youth system last year and is about the only one on my youth team with any potential, aged out of the youth team, and I needed to find him first team playing time, so he is at Woking. Star and a half current ability, 4.5 star potential ability. I really think if he develops the way he could be at least a starter for us in the future. Charlie Smith is a young right back I brought in, 2-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. I wanted to get first team playing time. Michael Proctor is a young left back I brought in, 1.5 current ability, 5-star potential ability. I mean, the 5 stars is the big reason I brought him in. 17 bravery, 13 aggression, 15 determination, 13 leadership, pretty good physicals as well, with the exception of that 5 jumping reach. But he wasn't going to get first team playing time here. He'll definitely get it at Aldershot. All these players are on first team key player contracts. We brought in Ben Eagle from Derby County on the midfield. Can also play a little striker and a little midfield left if we need him to. I brought him in for depth more than anything else. 19 years old, 2-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. The 5 jumping reach is kind of, well, it's low. You just can't argue that. The 5 positioning is kind of bad too. Everything else is average or above average. The 5 heading also does kind of stand out. But I brought him in to be a rotation player. Derby County is happy with him being a rotation player. I'm not paying anything towards his salary. And honestly, he was probably the 4th or 5th midfielder I tried bringing in on loan, and he was the first one to agree to come here. I'm still having issues with getting players to come here because our reputation is just so low. On the cash and clause transfers, on the outs, Marcel Lavinier went to Rotherham. The right back just wasn't happy splitting time last season and wanted to leave, so I let him leave. Jordan Gabriel, one of my other right backs, was also unhappy he was not getting any first team playing time and asked to leave. He went out to Crawley Town for $16,000. I took a decent loss on Lavinier, but I had to overpay to get Lavinier here. And it's just the hazards of being in the position we're in. I'm going to have to overpay to get players to come here until our reputation gets better, until our standing gets better. So I lost about £110,000 on Lavinier, but getting some money back was better than letting him leave for free. Gabriel, I also lost money on, but it's the same situation with him as Lavinier. I had to overpay to get him here originally, and I lost money on the deal, but not as much as Portsmouth lost when they brought him in from Notts County. I got about a little under half the value back for him. But then again, if I got players on my team who really don't want to be here and they're not going to get first team playing time, I'll let them go, even if I take a loss. If a player like Barry Cousins or Mungo Bridge wants to leave, but they're kind of key to the team, or I don't have what I consider an adequate, capable replacement for them, then yeah, I'll keep them on, even if they're unhappy. Now, the primary reason I was happy with letting Lavinier and Gabriel go is because Phil Colwell from Blackburn agreed to come to the team. 24 years old, 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, defensive right back, plays defensive fullback really well, also plays a decent fullback and wingback. Excellent physicals, pretty good mentals, okay technicals. His marking is pretty nice. His tackling could use some work. That's actually what I'm training him on. You will notice that his profile pic is a little bit different. I, like many other football YouTubers, have downloaded the face pack from What the Fort Gaming. She's done an excellent job with these. As you'll see further on, I've gone back to some of my other players and have changed their faces as well. I would highly recommend using them. I will put a link down to her site below, and if I can dig up the links to the face packs, I will put them up as well. If not, you can just get a hold of her through YouTube or Twitter, and she will be more than happy to send you the links. So we spent $125,000 going up to $135,000. That extra $10,000 is for an easily achievable appearance bonus unless his leg falls off and he retires from football. We'll be paying the full fee to Blackburn. We brought in $54,000. Everybody got a huge salary raise for getting promoted to the championship. But finance-wise, we're still doing really good. We've got $1.4 million in the transfer budget. We've got $8,000 to play with in the payroll budget. One of the things I have done, because going to the championship allowed us to expand the coaching staff and the scouting staff. I've been staring at it the whole time, didn't even realize it. So we got the upper tier senior package for Europe and the youth package, the middle tier package, just for England. I think spending money right now to go scout youth players somewhere else just isn't going to be worth it, especially because I am not quite sure which Brexit we had. And I do know that the one German player I found who was willing to come to the team in the transfer window couldn't get a permit, so I had to cancel the fee. So our goal this season is avoid a relegation battle. The board wants us to fight bravely, but I think we can avoid a relegation battle. I scheduled a lot of friendlies in the preseason. 9 of them. I didn't schedule any really big opponents. I was more interested in keeping the team healthy. I did make money off of all these games. Not a lot of money, but we started the season with more money from the preseason games than we spent. Some really good results. The 6-0 against Charlton was nice. The 3-1 against Barnet was nice. The 4-1 against AFC Wimbledon was unexpected, as was the 3-1 against Birmingham. They're both better teams than we are. And yeah, they played weaker sides. I played a pretty rotated side in both those games too. Woking losing 3-2 to our affiliate. Yeah, it's not exactly a black eye, but a little unexpected. The 2-0 against Cardiff was also very nice. I would have thought we would have had more people in the stands for that, but it is what it is. The season-wise, we haven't gotten off to the best start. Our first game was away at Hull, and we lost that game 4-1. E. McNally had a 36-minute goal for us, but Niall Ennis had a brace of goals in the 6th and 44th minute. Sebastian Wassel had a 9th-minute goal. Kenneth Sahor had a 22nd-minute goal. 3-0 down after 22 minutes. Our first game of the championship was just... I hope it's not a portent of things to come. It didn't help when Jack Lee went out injured in the 45th minute. We gave it our best shot, but our best shot just really wasn't good enough. We followed that up with our Carabao Cup first-round game against Swindon Town. I thought we gave them a pretty good game. Mungo Bridge had a 7th-minute goal. Barry Cousins a 54th-minute goal. Sam Taylor had a 24th-minute goal for Swindon. Carlton Morris had a 32nd-minute goal for Swindon Town. And then in the 74th minute, he got behind the line and scored on a really nice shot. We had 10 shots, 3 on target. Swindon Town had 19-11. We had a possession advantage, but we just really didn't do anything with it. They were the better team, and it showed in the end. We gave it our best shot, though. And frankly, we weren't expected to do much in the Carabao anyways. Next up came Aston Villa at home. One of the things I liked about this game was that we had 5,000 fans in the seats. And the vast majority of them were all ours, if not, 4,750 of them were all ours. Duncan Greenwood had an 8th-minute goal for Aston Villa, and they frickin' parked the bus. We had 20 shots, 5 on target, a decent possession advantage. Their defense wasn't great, but it was good enough. Ransom made some very nice saves for them. We had our chances. We were just very, very wild. 20 shots, 5 on target. This was a game we should have at least drawn with them, if not outright won. Next up came Millwall away, and this was a pretty fun game. And we took almost 1,000 fans with us. Danny Ings had an 8th minute goal for Millwall after Mungo Bridge scored in the 5th minute. Levi Morphew had an 11th minute goal. And then Matthew Cook just absolutely went off. Hat trick for him. Goals in the 17th, 75th, and 86th minutes. Daryl Denny had a 36-minute goal for Millwall. They had more shots, and they were a little bit more on target than we were. They also had a slight possession advantage. But at the end of the day, our defense was a lot better than theirs. We followed that up with a game against Sheffield United. Again, a good home crowd, 47,000, I wish. 4,750 fans watching us draw with Sheffield United. This was a game that they deserved to draw, to be honest. Collins had a 27th-minute goal. Barry Cousins a 33rd-minute goal. They came back in the second half. Will Perry a 61st-minute goal. Angus Langston an 87th-minute goal for them. That was well-earned. We had 10 shots, 5 on target. They had 15 shots, 4 on target. They were just better than us defensively. And that's what saw them through. Well, after the Sheffield United game, we were away at Fulham, and we got absolutely thumped, 6-2. Again, we took a decent away crowd with us, 1,285 fans. Barry Cousins had a brace for us, goals in the 9th and 53rd minute. Reece Bell had a hat trick for Fulham, goals in the 4th, 17th, and 64th minutes. Don Fitzpatrick also had a hat trick, goals in the 37th, 40th, and 93rd minutes. They had 20 shots, 13 on target. We had 12 shots, 8 on target. Possession was equal, but they were just much, much better defensively than we were. Oh, we were just horrible. Bamba ended up on a 5-3. Hayward was on a 6-3. Colwell on a 6-1. Ward on a 6-3. It was just... They really probably should have had more than the 6 they got. Ward made a couple really nice saves. Bamba just had a horror show of a game. And the kicker was, he was like on a 6-3 at the half. That's why I didn't pull him off. His second half was absolutely horrific. And by the time I noticed it, I had already made my changes. I brought Barrow off the half because he was just absolutely knackered. I mistakenly played him in the under-18 game. I forgot to click him off and I paid for it. I think we made our mark on the championship this season when we hosted Barnsley and absolutely thumped them 7-3. Mungo Bridge had a brace of goals in the 2nd and 59th minutes. Barry Cousins a hat trick, goals in the 17th, 29th, and 70th minutes. Ben Eagle had a 66th-minute goal. And Tom Ashton not only had a 75th minute goal, he had 3 assists. Barnsley got a hat trick from Bobby Reed, goals in the 8th, 20th, and 44th minutes. But their defense this game was worse than ours last game. Gui on a 4-6, Bree on a 5-9, Najade on a 6-2. They were horrible. Reed was their only really good player. And once I got him marked and crowded in the second half, he couldn't do anything. We had 16 shots, 9 on target, a huge possession advantage. I think we might have gotten more than 7 goals if I hadn't slowed things down in the second half. Even after I slowed things down, we still managed 3 more goals. For the moment, having played 7 matches, 6 in the championship, we are solidly mid-table. 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, a -3 goal differential for 7 points. We are ahead of the Leluja ratio. As long as we stay equal or ahead of that, I will be more than happy.
Well, a couple of things here. The length of this episode is already about 25, 26 minutes. It depends on how much editing I have to do with everything I recorded in terms of off-season transfer window and early season results. I still got 2 live comms to do. If I were to include those, the episode would probably be about 45, 50 minutes long, and even I don't like sitting through episodes that long. So what I'm going to do is cut this off here and then come back with the live comms as a separate episode. Call it episode 78 and a half. The other thing I would like to apologize for is the sound of my voice through most of the recording of this season's episodes. I had a cold. I never really got over it. It was one of those horrible summer colds. I went to a Boy Scout camp with my son. 500 10 and 11-year-olds running around in the woods. You're bound to come down with something, especially in the summertime when it was hot as heck one day and then rainy and miserable the next 2 days. So, not as young as I used to be, don't recover as fast as I used to. That's why my voice sounds funny. At least that's what I'm blaming on my voice. It sounded funny. So anyhow, I'm going to release the live comms the same day this episode comes out, probably just a couple hours later. I appreciate you all sticking through this. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave them down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name's FM Jellico, and I thank you for watching.